Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 2nd, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of the big story that we are seeing right now is still again around short squeezes. So last week we saw all the drama around GameStop, and now we are seeing similar activity on silver as well. So silver is going through a short squeeze currently, so we don't know exactly who the players are, but there is a Reddit forum that is actually calling for people to buy silver, or right now they are playing through the ETF, so it's called Wall Street bets. So right now, basically, they are trying to push the price of silver higher. So silver futures have gone up 13% today. And of course, we saw silver shooting up last week as well. It went up 6% last week. And just today, it has gone up 13%. So this is basically same thing that happened to GameStop as well. There were hedge funds that were short. And as a result of this, the Wall Street bets here, they coordinated the effort to push GameStop higher, the price is higher, as well as the AMC theaters as well. So that's what we have seen going on in the markets right now. So silver going through that particular type of activity. Basically, what they're saying is that silver, they're manipulating the hedge funds and the big banks. They're manipulating the price of silver. So these people are trying to basically undo that, and they're driving the price higher. So we'll see how that plays out, but just keep that in mind. If you are trading silver, that is something we'll have to be careful about. So also keep in mind, we may see this type of an activity in other places as well. So this is something we'll have to keep in mind as we basically go through this year and over the next few weeks and months coming up. In terms of the news here tomorrow, or on Tuesday here, we have employment numbers out of New Zealand. Other than that, nothing big here, nothing major in terms of news here. All right, so let's go on to our charts. We'll start off with euro dollar. We did see that US dollar did well today. We have a nice bearish candle close here for euro. The problem, though, is that we are right into the support. So in this case, we do have this downward trend here, and price is already, I will look for a pullback into this 1.2100 and then looking for a drop here. The concern, like I said, is this big support level here. Price has not been able to go through this support level previously, so watch out for that. If it doesn't, just like here, we could see price turn around. So that's something to watch out for. Overall bias is bearish. The target here is 1.1200, and should it continue lower, we're looking at 1.1920. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Now, keep in mind, though, as the stock markets turn and the sentiment goes bullish once again, we could see US dollar turn with that as well. So that's something we really do need to keep that in mind as we trade, expect volatility both from the US dollar as well as the stock market. Pound dollar here, this one as well, price has been pushing into this resistance level for quite some time, and it has been failing. So today we have a nice bearish candle close. Now it is still trading in this range, so it hasn't come out of the range just yet. So at this point, like I said, be careful with the US dollar. This one can turn. So as the stock market rally continues higher, we could see US dollar drop, which means all our dollar crosses are likely to go up in that scenario. So in this case, though, just based on the technicals here, this does look bearish. So we may see a move back towards a support level here, base of the range that it has been trading in. but then we may see move back up. So watch out for it. Right now, bias is neutral. Even though we have a nice bearish candle close, the sentiment is driving market right now. So we may see a shift in sentiment which can push it back higher, but I'm expecting price to trade between 1.3750 and then a 1.3600 on the downside. So neutral bias for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one we saw price drop. So this is the similar type of stuff we were seeing as we are seeing in the euro right now. Price did drop here, did go through the support level, and now it's holding below that support level here. So as long as it continues to hold below 0.7660, we are basically looking for a drop here. So bias is neutral to bearish here. First target is 0.7590, and then below that we are looking at 0.7550. So neutral to bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is still trading in a range. It's been trading in this range for a few weeks here now. So in this case, as we can see, we do have a nice bearish pin bar here. But again, watch out for the market sentiment, especially with these commodity currencies, because they could turn around here as the market, the stock market shoots higher. We are likely to see the commodity currencies go with that as well. So the US dollar is likely to drop. So that right now they're not moving together. So we may see that alignment back, and in that case, this is likely to go higher as well. But for now, I am looking for price to basically stay within this range here between 0.7250 and 0.7100. So right now, looking for price to come back and retest the support level at 0.7100. So neutral to slightly bearish bias here for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one has gone higher. It's pushed right into this resistance, but doesn't look very strong because it's still holding here below the resistance. And as long as it continues to, we're looking for a move lower here. So bias here is neutral for dollar CAD. I will look for a move towards 1.2750. Euro pound here, this one is looking bearish. As we can see, price has steadily been making its way to the downside here. Next target here is 0.8780. So bearish bias for euro pound. Euro Swiss franc here, this one is going higher. We do have a bullish candle close here. Now it's moving towards the resistance. So watch out for this level. This is a strong support resistance level. Once it goes through this though, next target that we have here will be back into 1.0850. So first target is 1.0820 and then 1.0830 and then 1.0845 and basically looking for a move higher into 1.0860. So bias here is bullish. Watch out for the resistance though, because it could lose momentum here and we could see this move back into the range. So watch out for that. But bias is bullish for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc, this one also looking bullish. Price is breaking through this resistance level here and looking for a continuation here. It is getting into some strong support resistance levels. So watch out for that. But next target is 1.2320. So bullish bias here for pound Swiss franc. Dollar Swiss franc here, this one is looking quite bullish here. Price has finally broken through this resistance that it had been struggling with for quite some time. So in this case, we may see a move back lower though. So that's something to bear in mind in terms of pullback. We may see a pullback into 0.8945. And then a further move, or it could go all the way into this previous level where it broke out of. So we'll watch out for both of these levels and then looking for a continuation move higher. Target is 0.900. So bullish bias here for dollar Swiss franc. Pound yen here, this one, we have a bearish candle close, but I think this one could change here. With the stock markets moving higher, the yen crosses are likely to move higher as well. So we may not actually get the drop. So we do have a nice bearish pin bar, but I think the sentiment doesn't quite support that. What I'd be looking for is a potential retest of 143.90 level. And if it holds, then we are looking for a move back. Otherwise, it could go through it as well. But I would look for a retest of the high because with stock market moving higher, this is going to move higher as well. So bias right now is neutral here. If it holds below 143.93, then we will see a drop. Otherwise, I will look for a move higher. Overall, this one is still looking bullish. Euro yen here, this one as well, we see that price has bounced off of the top of the range here. So in this case, again, neutral bias here. And keep in mind, as the stock market goes higher, yen tends to drop, which means the yen crosses generally go higher with that. So based on technicals, this is what I would look for, but based on sentiment, its sentiment is telling us a different story. So we'll have to basically keep an eye on the market because things can get volatile here. So right now, looking for price to trade within this range still. So bias is neutral here for euro yen. Dollar yen here, this one does look bullish right now. It is into resistance, so that's something to be careful about because it could turn here. The momentum doesn't, the current candle doesn't have the momentum that the previous one did. So watch out there because it can just go into this resistance level and then turn around and move back lower here. So bias here is neutral to bullish for dollar yen. Aussie yen here, this one as well, price went into the resistance here. And as we can see, it dropped off of that resistance. But I will look for a retest here of 80.50. If it holds, then we are looking for a move back into the bottom of the range. This one has also been range bound, so bias is neutral here. And I'm expecting price to stay within this range. New Zealand yen here, this one is neutral, completely neutral. I would look for a retest here of 75.50, and then if it holds, then we will look for a drop. So for now, bias is neutral, expecting it to stay within the range. CAD yen here, CAD yen as well, we did have a nice bearish candle close here, which would suggest a move lower here. But again, keep an eye out for the, especially the yen crosses here because things can turn around. But based on the technicals, this is what we're looking for, a bit of a pullback and then a potential drop. But again, watch out for retest of the highs because I think we may get that. Pound New Zealand here, this one is sideways here. We see that price has bounced off of the resistance level, but it doesn't really have much conviction here. So at this point, neutral to bearish bias, 1.9020 is the first target, and then 1.8920 is the next target. So bias here is bearish, neutral to bearish for pound New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, this one is looking bearish. As we can see, price is holding below this resistance level here. And we have a nice bearish candle close. So I'm looking for a drop here and target is 1.6760 here. So bearish bias for Euro New Zealand. EURCHF here, this one is also looking bearish. I will look for a move towards 1.5450. So bearish bias for this one as well. This is the move I'm expecting. So bearish bias for EURCHF as well. Pound CAD here, this one is holding above the support level here. So as we can see, price did come back to test this level, still holding above this level. Now the question would be, can it go through this 1.7575 level? If it holds below it, then we could see a move lower. But once it goes through it, then we are targeting the high here at 1.7630. So right now it's at critical level that we need to watch here. So bias here is bearish, sorry, bias here is neutral. And once we see which side it wants to stay on, then we'll continue in that direction. Euro Aussie here, this one is looking bearish at the moment, but keep in mind price is into support. And if it holds above this one here at 1.58, then basically we're looking for a move back towards 1.5950. So bias right now is neutral. For the last 3 days, it's been going sideways. So I'm expecting it to go higher towards 1.5880. So neutral bias for Euro Aussie. Pound Aussie here, this one as well, as we can see, price is bouncing off of the support level. It did come to test the support level, and now looks like we may see a move higher towards 1.7965 and then potentially 1.80. So neutral to bullish bias here for Pound Aussie. All right, let's take a look at commodities here. Silver going through this crazy move. This is the short squeeze that we were talking about earlier with silver. So the Reddit forum users trying to push the price higher in silver. Right now it's into resistance. So be careful with this one. And all of this will be completely driven by sentiment right now. So we are at highs that we haven't seen in a number of years. So this is where price was when the market started dropping and silver started going up. And now we are, or not, sorry, not market started, stock market started going back up here. So we saw this initial drop from COVID, and then it has gone up quite a bit, and now we are into the highs once again. So with this one here, this will be a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So if you're trading silver, be prepared for volatility in the market here, and we may see one of these ones. But if the Reddit users do get in, and then I will look for this type of a move to see if they're able to sustain it. So this is likely to happen more in the New York session, so watch out for that. So right now, bias is neutral to bullish. Overall, they are trying to push the price higher. So we'll see if that can happen. The target there is $1,000, so we'll see. Gold here, gold not really moving in line with silver, because silver is more a play that we are seeing people push the price artificially, whereas this one here is moving on its own. So today's candle close is neutral. So in this case, I'm looking for a move back into the range towards 1828. So neutral bias for gold here. Oil here, with all the positivity, oil is looking bullish again. It's trying to move out of this range that it's been trading in. So bullish bias here. First target here is 54.50. And then should it go through that, we will continue into 55.60. So bias here is bullish. Just watch out for this resistance. It needs to hold above for a continuation move higher, but we could basically, we may see, so this is right now a flag formation. So we are likely to see a further move higher. So this is a measured move scenario. So we could see about the same amount of move higher here as well. So right now bias is bullish for oil. Copper here, copper on the other hand, still sideways here. In this case, I'm looking for price to basically come and test the support level at 3.45. And then if it holds, we're looking for a move back into this range here. So right now it does have that, it's holding that bearishness here. So looking for a move towards 3.45 for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin is holding at the moment. We did have that retest of the high, but it hasn't really been able to maintain that bullishness. So in this case, if it holds below 34,790, so 35,000, basically looking for a retest lower towards 29,130. So neutral to slightly bearish bias here for Bitcoin. S&P 500, this one is bouncing off. It did come right into the support that we were looking for, and now this one is bouncing off. Bias is bullish at this point, and target is 3820, so bullish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this one as well, as we can see, price came into the support, bounced off, and now looking for a further move higher towards 13,400. And should it continue, we are looking for the highs once again towards 13,600. So bias is bullish for Nasdaq here. And then Dow Jones here, this one is also looking bullish, but with this one here, there is a concern that we are right into this resistance level here, or higher here. So right now it does have some bullishness, but if it gets stuck at 30,400, this could drop from here. So just be mindful of that. But bullish bias 30,620 is the target here. So bullish bias for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, DAX also benefited here a bit, but again, we have the same problem, prices into resistance here. So if it doesn't go through, it can again come back. But for now, a neutral to bullish bias here. Once it goes through that, we're looking at 13,875. So neutral to bullish bias for DAX as well. And then we have FTSE here, FTSE bouncing off of the support level. Now we may see a further move higher towards 65.20 and then 65.55 area here. So neutral to bullish bias for FTSE as well. And of course, we have Nikkei here. Nikkei bounced off of the support level. And now if it continues to hold above 28,110, then we are basically looking for another leg higher and looking for that retest. Another level to watch out for here is also where price is currently 28,400, because this is where price could get in trouble here and we may see turnaround. So keep an eye, but for now, it does have bullishness in it. So this one could go higher all the way towards the high, towards 28,950. So bias here is neutral to bullish for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.